Welcome back, everybody. Let's continue with the further math questions. The next one is number 30. Solve 4 sine squared theta plus 1 equals. Solve 4 sine squared theta plus 1 equals 0. Where 0 degrees less than theta less than 180 degrees. That means theta is between 0 and 180 degrees. So this simply means 4 sine squared theta equals 2 minus 1. And that means 4 sine squared theta equals 1. Which means sine squared theta equals 1 over 4. When we divide both sides by 4. And sine theta itself will be equal to the square root of 1 over 4, which simply means 1 over 2, or that means sine theta. I can write it as plus or minus 1 over 2, but let me just write it as sine theta equals 1 over 2 or minus 1 over 2. Now, they said the question says theta is between 0 and 180 degrees. So we only consider the quadrants in which theta is between 0 and 180 degrees. And that's going to be in the first and second. That's going to be the first and second quadrants. So the values of theta that satisfy this equation are the ones in the first and second quadrants. So when theta equals, so that means when sine theta equals half, the value of theta, when sine theta equals half, the value of theta in the first quadrant is going to be sine inverse of half, which is 30 degrees. That's the value of theta in the first quadrant, which satisfies the equation. Now, in the second quadrant, theta is going to be 180 degrees minus 30 degrees, which simply means 150 degrees. These are the only values of theta that will satisfy the equation. Therefore, theta equals 30 degrees or theta equals 150 degrees. And the correct option is B. Now we go straight to the next, which is number 31. Number 31. Find the range of values of x for which 2x squared plus 7x minus 15 is greater than or equal to 0. This is the same as 2x squared plus 10x minus 3. By now we know how to factorize quadratic expressions. Now, this simply means 2x into bracket x plus 5 minus 3 into bracket x plus 5 is greater than or equal to 0, which means 2x minus 3 times x plus 5 is greater than or equal to 0, which means 2x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 0. Or, okay, no, this is what I'm going to do. If the product of these two factors is greater than or equal to 0, that simply means the two of them are greater than or equal to 0, or the two of them are less than or equal to 0. So let me consider the first condition. 2x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 0, and x plus 5. It's either 2x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 0 and x plus 5 is also greater than or equal to 0, which simply means x is greater than or equal to 3 over 2 and x is greater than or equal to minus 5. That's the first condition. Let's show it on number line. If this is 0, this is minus 5, and this is 3 over 2. 3 over 2 is the same as 1.5. X greater than or equal to minus 5. That's x greater than or equal to minus 5. And x greater than or equal to 3 over 2 is this. So we can write this simply as x greater than or equal to 3 over 2. Because anything that is greater than, any number that is greater than 3 over 2 is certainly greater than or equal to minus 5. Let me say that again. Any number that is greater than or equal to 3 over 2 is certainly greater than or equal to minus 5. So you can simply write x greater than or equal to 3 over 2 for the two of them. Or the second condition, 2x minus 3. It's either both of them are greater than or equal to 0, or both of them are less than or equal to 0. So that's a condition I'm checking now. 2x minus 3 is less than or equal to 0, and x plus 5 is less than or equal to 0, which simply means x is less than or equal to 3 over 2 and x is less than or equal to minus 5. We show that on the number line just to see what the single inequality that represents both of them will be. X less than or equal to 3 over 2. This is what represents that. And x less than or equal to minus 5. This is what represents that. So we can simply write x less than or equal to, write the two of them as x less than or equal to minus 5. Because we know that any value that is less than or equal to minus 5 is certainly less than 1.5, which is the same as 3 over 2. So the solution, the range of values or the solution set will now be x less than or equal to minus 5 or x greater than or equal to 3 over 2. And the correct option is x less than or equal to minus 5 or x greater than or equal to 3 over 2. The correct option is B. We go straight to the next, which is number 32. Number 32. The probability that a student will graduate from a college is 0.4. If 3 students are selected from the college, what is the probability that at least one student will graduate? Oh, that's simple. That means success is graduation, which is 0.4, and failure will be 1 minus 0.4. 1 minus 0.4, which is 0.6. So the probability, if 3 students are selected at random, the probability that at least one of them will graduate is going to be px greater than or equal to 3. There are 2 ways to do this. I can write px greater than or equal to at least one of them will graduate. That means x greater than or equal to 3, which will be px equals 1. I'm not going to consider x equals 0 because x equals 0 means none of them graduate. So I must start with 1. X equals 1 plus px equals 2 plus px equals 3. Or, to put it simply, probability that at least one of them graduates is the same as x greater than or equal to 3 will be the same as 1 minus the probability that none of them graduates. Yeah, the probability that at least one of them graduates is the same as the probability that is the same as 1 minus the probability that none of them graduates. Is the same as 1 minus the probability that none of them graduates. 1 minus the probability that none of them graduates. That's a simpler method, and that simply means 1 minus probability that none of them graduates is 3 combination 0 times 0.4 raised to the power 0 times 0.6 raised to the power 3. Yeah, that's what it is. I want to make sure that that's clear. 1 minus 3 combination 0 times 0.4 raised to the power 0 times 0.6 raised to the power 3. And that's 1 minus, what's 3 combination 0 3 combination 0, let's check that. 3 combination 0 times 0.4 raised to power 0 is 1 times 0.6 raised to power 3. And that, the whole of that is 0.216. And 1 minus 0.216. 1 minus 0.216 is equal to 0.784, which is approximately 0.78. And the correct option is C. That's the probability that at least one of them graduates. Now we go straight to the next, which is number 30. We go straight to the next, which is number 33. And the question is, the equation of a circle is given as 2x squared plus 2y squared minus x minus 3y minus 41 equals 0. Minus 41 equals 0. Find the coordinates of its center. The equation of a circle is given as 2x squared plus 2y squared minus x minus 3y minus 41 equals 0. Find the coordinates of its center. Okay, that's simple. We just write the equation of a circle in the general form of a circle, so that we can determine what the center of a circle is. So this is the same as 2x squared minus x plus 2y squared minus 3y minus 41 equals 0. And that means, now I try to complete the square for this one. This simply means 2 into brackets x squared minus 1 over 2x first plus 2, I have to write it in this form before I complete the square for it, y squared minus 3 over 2y plus 2 into bracket y squared minus 3 over 2y minus 41 equals 0. And that's the same as, okay, now I want to divide through by 2 just to get rid of these 2's. If I divide through by 2, then I'm going to have x squared minus half x, which is the same as x over 2 actually, but let me leave it as half x, plus y squared minus 3 over 2y minus 41 over 2 equals 0. And that's the same as, now I can complete the square for this, for x squared minus half x and y squared minus 3 over 2y. I can complete the square for x squared minus half x, and I can also complete the square for y squared minus 3 over 2y. To complete the square for x squared minus half x, that's going to be x minus half the coefficient of x, that's 1 over 4 all squared minus the square of half the coefficient of x, which will be minus the square of minus 1 over 4. That's how to complete the square. Plus, how do I complete the square for y squared minus 3 over 2y? Just write y, open bracket y, and then add half the coefficient of x, the coefficient of y. The coefficient of y is minus 3 over 2. Half of that is minus 3 over 4. That's why I'm going to add here. Minus 3 over 4. And we square the whole of that. Minus the square of half the coefficient of x, which is minus the square of 3, minus the square of minus 3 over 4. And then let me move minus 41 over 2 to the right hand side. And we say that's equal to plus 41 all over 2. Now what happens? Yeah, okay, then I have x minus 1 over 4, x minus 1 over 4 raised to power 2 minus the square of minus 1 over 4 is the same as 1 over 16. So that minus 1 over 16, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, y minus 3 over 4 plus, that's plus y minus 3 over 4, the square of y minus 3 over 4 minus the square of minus 3 over 4 is 9 over 16. So I just write minus 9 all over 16 equals 41 all over 2. Now what happens? I'm bringing these two fractions to the right hand side, minus 1 over 16 and minus 9 over 16. So I'm going to have x minus 1 over 4 all squared plus y minus 3 over 4 all squared equals 41 over 2 plus, when minus 1 over 16 gets to the right hand side, it becomes plus 1 over 16. And when minus 9 over 16 gets to the right hand side, it becomes plus 9 over 16. Plus 9 over 16. And what do we have? X minus 1 over 4. The square of x minus 1 over 4 plus the square of y minus 3 over 4 equals 41 over 2 plus 1 over 16 plus 9 over 16. What are going to be very quickly? That's the LCM is 16. 2 and 16 is 8 times 41. 328 plus 1 plus 9. Let's see. 8 times 41. That's 328. So 329 plus 9, 348. Let me be sure that's correct. 340, yeah, that's 348 over 16. 348 over 16. And that, can we divide? Yeah, 4 in 34 is 8. 4 times 8 is 32. In 28 is 7. And 4 in 16 is 4. So that's 87 over 4. 87 over 4. The right hand side will become 320. Let me see that. What did I erase? 348 over 16, which is the same as 87 over 4. Yeah, so that's 87 all over 4. Now, we know that this is what the general equation of a circle is written as: x minus a all squared plus y minus b all squared equals r squared, where a and b, where AB represents the center of a circle. Now we want to compare our equation to that. What our equation? Let's see. This is the equation of a circle. This is the equation of a circle that is given. So we want to compare it to the general form of the equation of a circle. This is the equation of a circle. Yeah, this is the equation of a given circle. So what does it become when we compare it to the general form of the equation of a circle? To the general form of the equation of a circle. Let's see that comparison. If we try to compare that, that means minus a is the same as minus 1 over 4, which simply means a is 1 over 4 and b is 3 over 4. That's it simply. So if you compare the two equations, we'll see that the center of a circle is therefore, we know the center is supposed to be a, b, and that's the same as 1 over 4 3 all over 4. And that's the center of it. Yeah, those are the coordinates of the center of the circle, very, very simply. And the correct option is B. We go straight to the next, which is 34. The gradient of a function at any point xy is 2x. Gradient simply means dy dx. So the gradient of a function at any point xy is 2x minus 6 if the function passes through the point 1, 2. The function passes through the point 1, 2. That means it passes through a point whose coordinates are 1, 2. Find the function. If we know the gradient of a function, how do we find the function? It's just by integrating that gradient. Let the function be y. That means y will be the integral of dy dx with respect to x, which simply means the integral of that function is 2x minus 6 here with respect to x, and that will be 2x squared all over 2 minus 6x plus c. Here minus 6x plus c, and that's the same as x squared minus 6x plus c. That's why all we need now is to find the value of c, and we know that the function passes through the point 1, 2. That simply means 2 equals, we just put 2 wherever we see y and 1 wherever we see x in the equation, in the function. So that means 2 equals 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus c. And that simply means 2 equals 1 squared is 1, minus 6 times 1 is minus 6, 1 minus 6 is minus 5 plus c. And that simply means 2 plus 5 equals c, which means c equals 7. How about the right thing? 1 squared minus 6x plus c. That's 1 minus 6 times 1 plus c. And y is 2. So that's correct. That's correct. So that means the function is therefore y equals x squared. Y equals x squared minus 6x. This is the function. Now that we have c, we just take the function completely. Y equals x squared minus 6x plus 7. X squared minus 6x plus 7. And the correct option is D. Yeah, the correct option is the x squared minus 6x plus 7. Now we go straight to the next, number 36. If alpha and beta are the roots of the equation x squared plus mx minus n equals 0, x squared plus mx minus n equals 0, where m and n are constants. Where m and n are constants, form the equation whose roots are 1 over alpha and 1 over beta. I take that again. If alpha and beta are the roots of the equation, are the roots of x squared plus mx minus n equals 0, where m and n are constants, form the equation whose roots are 1 over alpha and 1 over beta. First of all, if alpha and beta are the roots, sum of roots, which means alpha plus beta, is minus b over a. And that means minus m over 1, which is minus m. A is 1, that's the coefficient of x squared. B is m, that's the coefficient of x. And c is a constant. So alpha plus beta is minus m. And alpha beta, which is the product of the roots, is c over a, which is minus n, which is minus n over 1. Minus n all over 1. And that's simply minus n. Now what's the equation whose roots are 1 over alpha and 1 over beta? Sum of the new roots. Sum of the new roots is 1 over alpha plus 1 over beta. And that simply means LCM is alpha beta. Alpha beta divided by alpha is beta. plus alpha beta divided by beta is alpha, and that's the same as saying alpha plus beta all over alpha beta, which simply means minus m over minus n. Let's check that. Yeah, that's correct. Minus m divided by minus n. Minus m over minus n, which is simply m over n. M over n. Now the product of the new roots is 1 over alpha times 1 over beta, and that's 1 over alpha beta, which simply means 1 divided by alpha beta is minus n. I checked to be sure. Yeah, alpha beta is minus n, and this is the same as minus 1 all over n. Therefore, the new equation is given by x squared. We know that the general quadratic equation in terms of its root is x squared minus sum of roots times x plus product of roots equals 0. This is general form equals 0. Let me write that here. This is the general form of a quadratic equation in terms of its roots. So that means the new equation is simply x squared minus sum of roots, which is m over n, times x minus m over n times x plus product of roots, which is minus 1 over n, equals 0. And that's the same as x squared minus mx over n, or if you like m over n times x minus 1 over n equals 0. And now to clear the fractions, I'm multiplying through by n. That means nx squared minus mx minus 1 equals 0. And this is the equation whose roots are 1 over alpha and 1 over beta. So let's see the option that matches that. Nx squared minus mx minus 1 equals 0. That's option D. 38. Evaluate the limit of x cubed plus 8 all over x plus 2 as x tends to minus 2, and that's equal to the limit of x cubed plus 8 is the same as x plus 2 times x squared minus x squared minus 2x plus 4 all over x plus 2. Let's see if I can move that back a little. Yeah, now I can close the bracket as x tends to minus 2, and that's equal to x plus 2 cancels x plus 2, and that means the limit of x squared minus 2x plus 4 as x tends to minus 2, which is equal to minus 2 squared minus 2 times minus 2 plus 4, which simply means 4 plus 4 plus 4, and that's 12. Yeah, that's 12. Yeah, the next one is number 39. Number 39. If f of x minus 1 equals, if f of x minus 1 equals x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x minus 5. If f of x minus 1 equals x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x minus 5, find f of 2. Find f of 2. Okay, to find f of 2, that simply means to find f of 2, what do we do? That means x minus 1 equals 2, and x will be equal to 3. So that simply means f of 2 equals 3 cubed plus 3 times 3 squared plus 4 times 3 minus 5, which is the same as 27 plus 27 plus 12. 27 plus 27 plus 12 minus 5. 27 plus 27 is 54, plus 12 is 64, minus 5 is 61. And the answer is 61, which is option A. Now we go straight to number 40, which is the last one. The length of a line joining points x4, 2 points. The first one we coordinate x4 and another point we coordinate minus x3. The coordinates of the second point, are minus x3. The length of the line joining them is 7. Find the value of x. That simply means we know the formula we know how to find the distance between 2 points. It is square root x1 minus x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So that simply means this x2 minus x1, that's minus x squared. X2 minus x1, I think I should write that this way. Yeah, minus x, this is x2 and this is x1. Minus x all squared plus y2 minus y1. And that simply means 3 minus 4. The square of y2 minus y1. And that's equal to the length of the line joining the points, which is given as 7. So this simply means square root of minus x is minus 2x. The square of minus 2x is 4x squared. 3 minus 4 is minus 1, and the square of minus 1 is plus 1. So that means the square root of 4x squared plus 1 is equal to 7. If we square both sides, I'm going to get 4x squared plus 1 equals 49. And that simply means 4x squared equals 49 minus 1, which means 4x squared equals 48. If I divide both sides by 4, I'm going to get x squared equals 12, which simply means x equals the square root of 12, which is actually the square root of 12 is the same as the square root of 4 multiplied by the square root of 3, which is 2 times root 3, and that's 2 root 3 simply. So that means x equals, I just want to make it clearer, x equals 2 root 3, very, very simply. And the correct option is the correct option is D. X equals 2 root 3, which is D. Yeah, so thank you very, very much. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. And God bless you as you do. Take care and bye-bye.